In this session, we're going to talk more about the business management and the concept of subordination of individual interest to group interest. What does that meaning? What is principles of management? This man, Henry Fayol, he has given a huge contribution to the society. Hello, everybody. A warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidyashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to the next session, that is the fifth session. In this session, we're going to talk more about the business management and the concept of management with pioneers of business management, the real basic structure which defines the principles of management. Yes, you are right. We're gonna talk about the pioneers of the principles of management. Now, here you need to know that what is principles of management. When I go with these principles, you should always think about it as the general guidelines. What it is? General guidelines. And the principles are broad and it is the general guidelines for decision making. The first thing we need to understand is nomadic life till the civilization was not so good. What used to happen was management was still existed. That means a person was communicating with another person even when they did not know how to communicate. Now, I'll tell you what it is, the medium of communication. Actually, it started from the nomadic life itself. But afterwards, right, from the nomadic till the 21st century, how management has emerged. You need to always look about the emerging mode of business and the emerging mode of management. Here what happens is why the management decisions are taken very careful, because the top level management who are there, we always go with this top level, middle level and supervisor level. If the top level, the middle level and the supervisor level, if they don't have a proper channel of management, what will happen is whatever the top level want to achieve will not be given by the supervisor level. That is, they'll not work accordingly. So that's why they need some particular guidelines, the guidelines which is carried from the top level to the supervisory level. So those guidelines are called as the principles. So here we're gonna talk about one big personality, that is Henry Fayol. What's his name? Henry Fayol. Let me just tell you, this man, Henry Fayol, he has given a huge contribution to the society. And what is that he has done? He has done so many things which you people need to understand. Now, when it comes to Henry Fayol, we also know that Henry Fayol is the father of general management. He's what? He's the father of general management. General management. He's the father. Right? He's the father of general management. And this person is from France. And earlier those days it was all called Ottoman Empire, that is the Turkey. And he wanted to be a person who will find something about the scientific management. But what really happened was because of his theories which did not being proved correct, so he was given as the father of general management after his death. The reality here is he goes with a proper management which even our parents who are in business, they are following him. Though they don't know who this person is, they are following the way the artist goes. So here what happens is the general management, it is divided into 14 principles. That's why we usually say it has 14 principles of Henry Fayol. Students, this is a 15-mark question for you. How many marks? 15-mark question for you. So be attentive and please learn how to write this answer, because each and every point carries 1 mark. Totally we have how many? We have 14 principles. Totally we have how many? 14 principles. In this 14 principles, you are supposed to understand that what are the 14 general principles which Henry Fayol have actually told us. The firstly, we have something called division of work. Now you need to just imagine, I'll just tell you a story where you can actually link all these 7 points which I have given in this slide, and next 7 also I'll tell you some other story where you can relate to it. Now supposingly, let's go for this. A person is there, he wants to join a business as an employee. Okay, so all these general principles are for the employer. So think about employer and employee combination, then you will understand 14 principles of Henry Fayol. Firstly, as an employee goes to the employer, what does that employer need to do? His selection, everything is done. Okay, now the employer need to give him position, right? Or he should tell him what is the work to be done. So that is what the first general principle is, that is division of work. So the employer work is what? He should divide the work and give it to the employee. So that is why the first principle is called as division of work. Done. After that, when the employee gets that work, what he is supposed to do, the employee will see to it that whether he falls in the top level, middle level, supervisor level. In any level, if he is being placed, one thing should be given to the employee, that is the authority and responsibility. So understand the logic here. Now what happens is, you have the division of work, right? Now top level, middle level and supervisory level. So supposingly that employee is placed in the middle level, so he should have authority as well as he should have responsibility. Authority in the sense he will command the supervisory level, plus he will have responsibility towards the top level. So what should be there? Division of work is done, then authority and responsibility should be given. Now what does this division of work? Division of work means, Henry Fayol says that the work should be divided among each other and the same person need to do the same work for at least 6 to 7 months. When he does that, he gets something called specialization. And when he gets specialization, the next, whenever you give him that work, he will take less time and do it better than anybody else. That is what the division of work. That means the work should be divided in a small department, small groups, small tasks, and then it should be given to the employee so that the employees will have the perfection kind of working, and then that is how the management will actually benefit from the employee. Now what has happened is authority responsibility. Again he says that after you have given the division of work, you give him authority over people who are his subordinates. And it's not just authority, those person or those people need to actually have responsibility, because once you give authority and it is only authority, people will misuse their power. Now authority is all about power, but if they have responsibility, they know how to manage the power with their obligations. That's why you are not supposed to give only authority, you should give them responsibility as well. If you give authority and responsibility, definitely the person whoever has been recruited, he'll follow in a disciplined way. That is what the management should always go for. I told you that management is a military concept. When management is a military concept, discipline should be the most used term as well as most used word, which follows with authority and responsibility. The next one is here unity of command, unity of direction. Now understand the word unity of command and unity of direction. Unity in the sense, here what happens is, what Henry Fayol says is, each employee should have one boss. Each employee should have one boss. You may have n number of employees, but that n number of employees, they need to report to one boss. Now understand here, the thing here why he says is, there should be only one person to give command. If there are 2 or 3 people who are the boss for one employee, what usually happens is, the bosses will start telling what the duties, what the employee should do, but employee will have a mumbo jumbo in his head that whose words or whose duty should I do, whether I should do for boss A, B, C or D. Now what will happen is he'll be in a dilemma, he'll be in a confusion, and the work will not get done. So that is why each employee should have one boss. Now supposing, I'll just give you here, right? Now we have this functions of management here, right? Here there is a person called MD. Now we have A, B, C. Now for A, B, C, who is the boss? MD. That means for each employee there is one boss. Now let's go for this, okay? Now we have the C. There are again here now D, E, F. Now each employee one boss. That means D will have a boss. Who is that boss? Each employee one boss. That is what unity of command is, unity of direction is. Now the person who is giving the command, only that person should give the direction, because now supposingly, right, B is also what? The person who is the supremo of D, E, F, right? Because he is in the above level. But B should not give command or direction to D, E, F, because D, E, F lies under whom? Under the guidelines of C. So B should not talk or should not give orders to D, E, F. That is what the unity of command and the unity of direction says. So you have unity of command and unity of direction means each employee will have one boss, and that one boss need to give command as well as direction. Only then the work will be efficiently completed. Next one is scalar chain. What is it? Scalar chain. Here what happens is, when it comes to scalar chain is a military concept. Again, management is a military concept. Scalar chain is also military concept. Now I've given you here, right, the levels of management. So from here, this one, what happens is, communication from the top level to the supervisor level, it flows. So it's all about the way it flows. Authority should flow from top to bottom, and responsibility will go from bottom to top. This form of line, this form of chain is called as scalar chain. Now here what happens is, if the MD wants to talk to F, now the MD cannot call F directly and talk to him. So what is that he should do is, MD will tell this to C, C will communicate it with F. That is how the scalar chain happens. Now if F wants to tell something to somebody else, right? So again what happens is, F should actually talk to C, C will go and talk to the MD. That is what the scalar chain is, authority and responsibility. One more here in scalar chain, it is what? It is what? A general kind of a thing. When it comes to emergency. Now, F needs to go and tell this to the MD emergently. He should actually go and talk to the MD. There is some emergency here. Now he'll break the scalar chain. Now here what happens is, the same way, let's go with a fresh one. Here you have E and F. Let's go with this, right? A will tell E what to be done. E will tell to C what to be done. Now, this is the scalar chain, right? Now, C wants to communicate with D. How the formal way? C will tell E, E will go tell A will tell this here, O is the MD here. O will talk to B will tell F will tell D. Now it's a long process, but still scalar chain is maintained. Supposingly, C should talk to D and there is an emergency. Only because of emergency, there is one provision which we call that as gang plank, P-L-A-N-K, G-A-N-G, gang plank. That means emergency time itself you will use this, and it is a short distance communication through the same subordinates of different level, they'll just talk C to D. Now why? Because there is emergency, there is a need. Next one is fair remuneration. Now, for any person to work properly or efficiently or dedicatively, honestly, what all the things, the first thing is what? Money. Money really talks, right? What is between me and you? If you are paying me good, I'll definitely work for you. If you're not paying me good, I don't feel like working for you. That is what the reality is there in this 21st century as well as in any centuries coming forward. You pay us, we're gonna work for you. So what he says is, he says, whatever you people do, there should be what? Fair remuneration. What is that? Fair remuneration. Now students, here I just told you here, right? Now, let me just tell you how exactly it is. First one, division of work. What happens is, all the work are divided into small sections and then it is given to you. You are supposed to work more on it, and then one day you will be specialized in that particular thing. That is called division of work. Done. Authority and responsibility. Now authority and responsibility means what? Here what happens is, a person whoever gets authority should also get responsibility as well. Next is, if you give them authority and responsibility, the workforce will be what? Discipline. It should be discipline, because any management, they only focus on how to maintain dignity, discipline in the work culture, because the more discipline and dignity is there, the smooth functioning of work will be very much easier. Then we have is unity of command and unity of direction. That means each employee will have one boss, and that one boss need to give directions and the command. Scalar chain. It is a arrangement of communication from top to supervisory level, where nobody will actually exchange any kind of communication until it reaches from the top to the bottom. Here the next one is fair remuneration. Whatever we people usually do, what is that we should always think about is only money, and money satisfaction will actually make a person to motivate a person, and that person will work for the betterment of the organization. So these are the 7 principles of Henry Fayol. How to remember it, right? So I told you about this. A person has gone to a job and he will get the work. So that is what? Division of work. Now authority, responsibility, all those stuff. S for 6 and S for scalar chain. 7, right? You go with the mirror image of 7, so you will get F, fair remuneration of the employees. So the next one here is 8. E for 8, E for equity. E for 8 and E for equity. Now let me tell you about more of Henry Fayol. Now Henry Fayol is not a scientific management, his is a general management. So what he has done, what is he up to? You need to understand that. Henry Fayol is a person who always believed in equity. That is, whether it is a male or a female, there should be a equality. What is that? Equality should be there. So here, please don't write equality. It is Henry Fayol 14th principle, and he has written equity, not equality. And one more thing is, he always wanted people to know that there should be no discrimination between anything, whether it is color, creed, caste, gender, anything. Everybody should be treated well. Only then what will happen is, there is no partiality. When partiality is not there, everything is actually in the same situation. So what will happen is, people will work in friendly nature, in a very good atmosphere, healthy competition will actually come. So that will actually make the company also grow, as well as individual also people will grow. That is what his concept was. The next one is decentralization and centralization. Please understand these 2 terms. Centralization, that means only one person is there, right? Only one person is there. He will command everybody. He will command everybody. Let's go with this. Done. Okay. Now, decentralization means what? There are so many. See here, only this is called centralization. One person commanding everybody. Decentralization means what? All these person, distribution. What is it? Distribution of work. And who will be there? The bosses will be more, employer also more. So here what happens is, two of the technique. One is, sometimes you should have one person who will command each and everything, and sometimes what happens is that one person is not specialized in all the department, so he need to actually go with people who are specialized in other department as well, so he should consult them. That is called decentralization. So here, this is what you are supposed to know. Next you have, that is, one is equity, decentralization. The next thing is order. How to remember this? Right? Order. Now here, order means what? Everything should be placed in a proper order. Everything. When I say the physical resources, manpower, finance, whatever you feel, whatever you see in any of the management, everything should be in a order. That is, a right time, right place, all everything should be perfectly managed. That is what the art of managing some particular things. Now, the way you people manage yourself in your house and the way you manage yourself outside, there is always a difference, because management is intangible. We cannot actually touch it, but we can see and we can feel it. That's why it is called intangible. And what he says is, everything physical or whatever it is, it should be placed in a particular order, and that order should be perfect. Next one is the 11th one, initiative. Now, how to remember this? Your 11th standard after your 10th, right? You always wanted to do something more, because from your 10th school days to the first PU, you had that chart saying that I'm a grown-up person, I need to do everything. Initiative. Now, in a company, job is given to you, you are working for 6 months, 7 months, or 8 months, 1 year, whatever it is. Now it is your time to come, and then it is your thing to take up new tasks. You should go ask the manager, sir, what is that I can do more? So when you go for it, only then you'll understand. That is called initiative. Next one here is stability. What is it? Stability. What does the stability is all about? Now, stability means what? Once you get to know that the company is doing really good for everybody, right? That means what? There will be a stability of your work. That means job security. For any company, when people are initiative and they are doing the work, what is that from the employer side? It should be. That means the labor turnover should be stable. It's not like 10 people came and 10 people left, right? It should be what? 10 people have come and joined your company. You have given them training, development, everything. They are getting a fair remuneration. Now, when they are getting fair remuneration, will they move from your company? Definitely no. Why will they move from your company? There are only two possibilities. One possibility is they aren't working. So why is that they are not working? Because you're not paying them good salary. Second thing, why you are giving them bad salary? The reason is they are not working. That means you have not selected people who are really capable of working hard. Now understand, these two things are always the same. You don't want the person, or the person doesn't want you. So that's why you should always have stability. That means the people whom you select, at least they need to work for you for 5 to 6 years. Only then the labor turnover is less. Henry Fayol, after finishing his engineering college, his graduation was all done. He came to this mining company and he became an engineer. And he used to serve in the middle level. Let me just tell you, students, after so many years, he was promoted to the top level and he became the MD, managing director of that particular mining company. See, this is what Henry Fayol also feels. That means there should be initiative as well as there should be stability. Next is subordination of individual interest to group interest. What does that meaning? Subordination. That means you should not think only about your interests. You should always think about the entire organizational interest. You shouldn't be selfish. You should always work together. That is what he says, subordination of individual interest to group interest. And the last one, Henry Fayol is a Frenchman. When he's a Frenchman, he should always go with one of his quote, right? So that's why he has written in French, that is Esprit de Corps. Esprit de Corps in the sense, work united. Work united. Only when we actually go with this, right? We need to replace the word me to we. Only when you replace these things, then definitely everything is possible. Take an example of any company, right? Whether it is Apple, Microsoft, Wipro, Tata, Kennametal, Nvidia, any company you take, right? It's just not because of one person the company is stable. Now, JRD Tata, he started Tata Steels and Tata Corporation. Now, where is he? He's not there. But still, people are continuing in Tata. Bill Gates started Microsoft, Steve Jobs started Apple. Where are they right now? They have no connections right now. Steve Jobs is no more, but still Apple, it has reached 2 trillion, right? $2 trillion. That means what? Huge. If it becomes a different world or different country, I'll tell you, Apple being just a example which I'm telling you, if you consider Apple revenue and you make it as a country, if you convert it, it will be the 8th largest country, just Apple, because 2 trillion is what it is, right? Very, very huge economy. Where is Steve Jobs? Steve Jobs is no more. Tim Cook took over it. Now, what exactly has happened? He has gone. It's all about we. Try to understand. That's why he says what? E spirit, D corps. Everything cannot be done by one person. There should be always something called team spirit. So these are the Henry Fayol 14 principle. Hope you have understood it. If not, you are supposed to just call us. We're always there to help you. Thank you so much, students. I'll see you when I see you.